Hey guys, welcome back to Reserved Investments on YouTube. So full disclosure, when I first started this channel, I had this wonderful vision where every week I would do like a collecting minute or collecting in 10 minutes that would show all the latest news and updates that's happening in the world of antiques and collectibles. And I would keep the video capped at 10 minutes long. And every time somebody wanted to know what was going on in the world of antiques and collectibles, they could get my weekly update in 10-minute bits. Well, unfortunately, that didn't happen because I have such a busy schedule. However, I do like to time from time do an unscripted video on this particular channel about a development in the antiques and collectibles trade. Well, one such development was brought to my attention that occurred on August 29th, 2020. It was brought to us by Geek Culture. I am going to put a link to the web article below in the video description, so that way you guys can check it out firsthand. Apparently, there was a huge M.A.S.K toy collection with US packaging reportedly uncovered in Chile. Now, this is a huge find. If you look at the pictures, there are multiple different products from the M.A.S.K toy line that are all factory sealed in original cases. If this particular news hits the market, which I guarantee it probably already did, because again, I'm shooting this video at the beginning of September. This news was discovered several days before. So as a result, I'm sure that M.A.S.K collectors, vintage toy collectors, and the like are already getting word of this particular find. The person that has been collecting or investing in high-grade M.A.S.K toys, graded by AFA or the like, guess what? They're going to end up taking a bath on a lot of those items should they go to sell, because I don't think the market is going to be able to absorb all of these toys from what I see in the picture. Now, this is why I wanted to bring attention to this particular topic. In the antiques and collectibles trade, I keep telling you guys, there are inherent risks in investing in pop culture collectibles for the long term. This is one of those risks that very few people ever realize that happens on a regular basis. Those of you out there that watch my video game collecting videos, what are the things that I always tell you? Be very careful going after certain factory sealed video games, because there are cases of this stuff out there that are not accounted for at present time. There's a lot of you that are buying into the hype thinking that, Sean, Nintendo games came out in 1985. Atari games, Sean, they came out in 1979 and the early 80s. Anybody who has that stuff, it's already accounted for. They obviously are either selling it on the secondary market, we know about it, they're collectors, or they're sending it in to get graded, and it will be coming to the market soon. That is a fallacy, guys. People are pulling the wool over your proverbial eyes if you are believing that. Even to this day, new comic book collections from the 70s, the 60s, even in certain cases from the Golden Age, are still being discovered. If you are investing in pop culture items and artifacts for the long term, this is a risk that you fundamentally must understand. Most of this stuff was mass-produced. A lot of it is out there in large quantities. Even warehouse finds are not uncommon. I'm using this as an example because what I'm going to do next on this channel, eventually, because I am 60 to 70 videos behind, now actually 60 to 71, because I bumped this video up before any of my other videos are being released. So as a result, though, what I am going to start doing on this channel on a regular basis is talking more in depth about famous warehouse finds, famous items that people were thought were quote-unquote rare, and then they were proven wrong because a distributor or a company that went bankrupt that was acquired by another company ended up realizing that, hey, we own a warehouse out in the middle of nowhere that we went and searched, and it turns out we found all these toys, comic books, video games, pop culture items, whatever it is, in that warehouse that we never even knew existed before. So, of course, when a find like that occurs, it does make the news waves. Now, to be fair, Geek Culture isn't exactly CNN or CNBC or Fox Business or MSNBC. However, it is valid for what they're reporting on. So what I am going to tell you is, again, a lot of you guys, especially the speculators, the Timmy S. Poindexter Jr.'s out there, the people that pretty much have their rose-colored glasses on, thinking that all this stuff goes up in value and there can't be any more fines because if there was all this stuff out there sitting in storage, it would have been accounted for. Who's paying storage to store all this? Well, why don't you look at this article and tell me how all these particular toy lines from the 1980s went missing and ended up in this massive fine that is just being reported on Geek Culture. And before you claim that this article isn't legit, please read it in depth. It shows a Twitter feed, it shows pictures of the boxes, and it even names the people who found the collection, guys. So this is a legit find. It is going to be a disaster for a lot of high-end mask collectors who have a lot of this stuff AFA graded in their collections, and they didn't sell. They're holding on to these items while more and more are going to get absorbed into the market. At some point, supply could possibly overtake demand, and as a result, those of you educated in economics like me, what happens when supply overtakes demand? Prices plummet, or at least fall. That's what we're looking at here. So before somebody tells you that item from 1985 or 1975 or 1995 or even 2005 is extremely rare and there's only 10 in existence, make sure you understand the risks of investing in pop culture artifacts for the long term. That's all I got in this video. It's very short. Thank you for watching. If my content appeals to you, please consider subscribing. Thanks, guys, and have a good night.